Hi everyone, this is the finished article. Some may like it, some might not. It's in the early stages of carbonation, and so what actually happens is that if there's any moisture in the air, the lime will actually pull it out, creating this kind of like motley blotchy effect. So I use quicklime on this, as you know. But under normal circumstances, I don't usually do that, and the reason for that is because walls have a tendency of being badly detailed, and the detailing on this was just sufficient to make it okay to repoint. You know, there's going to be, but the thing is, you're going to get splashing up from the road, and the water's obviously going to come down and hit the wall vertically, so you need some good detailing on it. The overhang on that is sufficient to make it okay. The Hessian's there to protect it, just in case we get any frosts, just to slow the drying process out. But what'll happen with this is it'll look uniform eventually, but it'll take about a year to carbonate, which means it's going to pull its pull all that carbon dioxide that was burnt off during the kilning process. Well, pull most of it back in, and that's the chemical process. That's actually the carbonation. So it'll toughen up, but it'll never be that tough. And you don't want it that tough because, you know, the foundations are pretty poor. You know, it's subject to movement, so it needs to be able to cope with that. You'll see that there's no need for what are they called again? Those strips down the middle. I don't use them because, you know, it's only if you're using cement that you need them. Yeah, so there was a slight problem with it, and it was that drain. We had so much bad weather recently, and we're still in it at the minute. That it just flooded, and it was taking ages for it to go off at the base. So it was getting hammered from the top, hammered from the bottom, hammered from either side. You know, so you can only really use quicklime on these walls if there's sufficient detailing. You're not going to get any flooding, and it is actually going to have a chance to dry out. You know, this will, and then like I say, in the future, every time it every time there's moisture in the air, it'll be pulling it out of the air. It'll put quicklime lime mortar will pull moisture out of anywhere where there is any. So if you've got moisture in your house, it'll pull it out. If you've got moisture in your wall, it'll pull it out. But it's a non-hydraulic lime, which basically means you can't use it where if you've got permanent damp. You've got to dry that out first, and then you can use it. Right, but this is what we're up against basically. This is how walls are going at the minute. Well, I mean, it's just not so much at the minute, but it's over a long period of time. You can see there's a host of inappropriate materials being used here, and these walls really do get hammered. You know, so. You know, this is now done now. This house, quite a lot of stone replacement has been undertaken, and you know, you kind of we're starting to get to a point in our history where we've got this sort of this semi-rendered effect, where the stone just gets too bad to be pointed. You know, I mean, I've got mates who just like to rebuild these elevations and these walls, you know, but they've got to be conserved. So you know, like I said, we're at this point where we're moving into this sort of semi-rendered effect, and the next time this needs pointing, whoever does it, I don't know, maybe 100, 200 years time, it depends. They might not be that successful as far as actually doing much pointing is concerned, and it might just end up getting fully rendered, you know, which wouldn't be, it's not a bad thing, but you know, because of the general sort of it's a lackadaisical attitude that people have to properties, which is surprising because they cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds to buy. but maintenance is a bit scarce, I should say, you know. So, but anyway, the point is this: use quicklime where you can, where you know you can, that's a very porous mortar. It's not breathability. I keep saying this in videos. It's not about breathability. It's actually it's about capillarity. You know, it's about creating a minute bridging network. There you go. If you look carefully, you'll see some cracks. Now, cracks is actually what you want, because that indicates the fact that it's a genuine mortar. You know, it's a genuine lime mortar, because you always get shrinkage cracks with lime. But anyway, I'll park it there, and thanks very much for listening.